tell me how you're going to measure me, and I'll tell you how I'm going to act. You've recounted the stories before of the top biller. You know, and the top biller is an absolute arsehole. You know, and is that the quality that I want to propagate? Is that what I want other people to be like that? It's about you leading from the front. You're the guy on the front stallion, but the energy is coming from all the other stallions that are following that stallion. Yeah, so that the wave, everything that's coming is a collective. And getting that stallion that can run really fast on his own it's great for a while, but it's actually really counterproductive because everybody starts to fragment.
Welcome to another episode of Pints of View here in the Cavendish in sunny and beautiful Marylebone today with your host Gary Goldsmith. I have got Adam Oldfield here today. Shall we have a little drink and get it going?
Let's do it.
Huzzah.
Cheers.
Huzzah.
Have you not noticed?
This is so good.
Have you not noticed?
No.
Do you want me to show you?
No, what have you got? Oh, shut up. Oh, that is
Is that beautiful? But the good news is this is like modern day knitting, right? Okay, so I can't knit, obviously, but in today's world, what I can do is stick some pictures on some jumpers, which I have done for you.
Oh, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Look at that.
Look at...
Isn't that beautiful?
That is...
It looks like a...
Is that not the best thing you've ever seen?
For a communist party.
Put
it on. Put it on. Put it on.
It's so hot in here.
Have I got you the right size?
What size is it?
It's good enough size. That's all. I've only got.
Is a slimline medium? Is it a slimline medium?
If that's medium, we are in all sorts of bother. That is.
Oh, it's good.
Look at that, eh?
Oh, I love it.
It looks like a dads and sons outing now. This is lovely.
It's all about me. It's all about. How did I not spot that? That is ridiculous.
Why do you think I was wearing a coat when it was like 30 degrees outside?
It's really hot today. That is brilliant. Thank you very much. Was that all you, or good show to us? Thank Nick.
No, that's team effort.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, liar. Right, so I'll give you a more formal introduction, but first, can I read my poem?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just had a go at this, and I think it might be one of the best.
Good to hear.
But you are allowed to be the judge. And literally, that shampoo has got quite a fit on it. If I belch all the way through this, I do apologise. In the world of tech, where dreams take flight, stands Adam Oldfield, a beacon of light. Founder of Force 24 with vision so grand, pioneering of change in the digital marketing land. With passion and courage, he dares, he inspires, helping recruiters do better, make more money, more hires. I've got inflection today as well. His name resonates with integrity and grace. In the tech world, he's found his one true place. With Force 24, he's forged a true legacy, a testament to what a pretty-faced and smarts can do. True and do. Barely. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the tech founder who is on a brilliant trends and journey. He's one of the good guys, and I'm proud to call you a friend. I give you my mate, Adam.
At what point did you decide to just get rid of the rhyming part of that? I mean,
Nobody noticed.
that's true. ChatGPT went, fuck it. No.
Trend, friend, true, do, grace, place, spires, highs. I think it's the reader.
Okay.
I don't think with ChatGPT, but I will blame them.
Tell me more about how I inspire. That's beautiful.
It is. No, I'll draw you because I wouldn't have thought of getting me a jumper. So that I could literally I'll be having this as I take my chihuahua for walks. We've got so many things to talk about today, but ultimately, how do you describe yourself these days? Tech founder. And how many years have you been on the journey with Force 24?
2010 I started, so it's 14 years.
Yeah. I was going to say 20 years. I went, no, it's not.
14 years. It feels like 20.
Well, you're still looking beautiful and handsome.
Oh, thank you.
So
are you.
No. I would love to talk about your backstory and how you got to become a tech founder. The goods, the bads, and the uglies of the whole process. been a tech founder through some of the times that we've had. So with everything with COVID, lockdowns, trying to keep the business going forward, trying to get that monthly recurring revenue MRR, pushing it up, how you building personal brand, and the fact that you're omnipresent across every social media and events everywhere. I love to share people with shit.
Share shit with people.
Share shit. I love to share some shit with people about why I love the products and why I'm a massive advocate, and why you are a major sponsor of season 4, which is the recruitment season.
Yep.
And we generally need to do favours for each other and work together. That's true partnership, right? That's the way that.
Take, yeah.
That's the way these things should work. We can talk about the boom bust era of the WeWork culture, because you find somebody else moving into a new office next year, and next week they've gone after using mums, dads, and the grandparents' money.
Fools, friends. And I can't remember what the third F is. There's 3 Fs. Fuckers, that's it.
Right, that's it. It'd be something like that. The importance of managing the business, not being all about the product, and leadership at this time, because I know it's something that you're very passionate about.
Yeah.
The current landscape for finding money, raising money, and what it actually means to you. Yeah. So, if you'd spent more up front and done some other things, there's going to be a whole load of lessons here. Of what that would have actually dripped down to the bottom line. Yeah. And now it's not your business, because if you sell it, it goes to somebody else first. Yeah. Right. So all of those things that are dynamics that are moving on your head, it's hard being a CEO.
It's really tough. It's tough at the top, as they say.
And it's lonely.
Yeah, it's lonely. Yeah. It's nobody ever says thank you.
No.
Everything's expected. Nobody says, well done, good job. And
thank you for my jumper. So where should we start? Should we start with Tales of the Unexpected? Now, I'm guessing when you went to your careers day at school, they didn't go, do you know what? Tech founder. You got that written all over you.
Yeah.
What?
Tree surgeon.
That's what they said.
Tree surgeon, yeah.
That's the second tree surgeon I think we've had.
Really?
Yeah, and the other one was really short.
Yeah, tree surgeon. And I was all up for it. I was absolutely all up for it. I thought, I like trees, sort of like surgery. So yeah, let's put it together and make it work.
So, tell us, how good were you at school? What did you excel in?
Yeah, so at school, bit of an average Joe, really. I can't say that I was particularly smart or anything, excelled at anything, and but I just had lots of energy. I've always had lots of energy, and that always manifested in sport.
That's my superpower as well.
What energy? It is your superpower. It really
energy,
is.
And people thrive off it, and actually people come to work for you
because of the energy.
Yeah, you create a good vibe, and you do that all the time.
That's really important. So there's a lot of energy as a kid, and so I found sport. I did a lot of sport, and I've continued to do sport on various different levels. But it's not really what.
So what was your claim to fame? We asked you just earlier. What's your claim to fame? The fact that you can't get up on a surfboard?
That's right.
What is it?
Yeah. So I'm actually the 2003. This is pretty recent. 2003 UK national kneeboard 3rd place.
When you say kind of recent, that's 21 years ago, but.
No, as in like last year.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, 23.
So I actually, I took my daughter to the event, and they were like, there's literally nobody in the men's category. I'm not a kneeboarder. I don't really know what I'm doing. But I said, yeah, go on. And I stuck a wetsuit on and jumped on a board and gave it a go. And I actually represented. I did all right. There were only 4 in the category, but I got 3rd. And I actually came 2nd in slalom, where you go in and out of the boys. So I didn't come last. And I'm really proud of that.
I was just thinking Stephen Hawking coming 4th. You must be absolutely gutted. Wicked. That's brilliant, mate. But it's better than anything I've ever done. So I will give you respect for that.
Thank you.
So energy.
Yes.
A bit like myself, we did all right at school, but nothing to write home about.
Yeah. So I then went to university, and I went to university really because I just didn't know what else to do. Just like everybody else. It was like, I didn't do the tree surgeon thing. That wasn't really an option on the prospectus. I went for civil engineering, and the first day at university, I knew I'd chosen the wrong thing. First day, right? Everybody's got these wonderful course mates. Everybody on my course had a Berghaus jacket. I've got nothing wrong with Berghaus jackets, but when everybody's and a packed lunch. Have you ever heard of anybody at a university having a packed lunch? Never.
I don't like it in a sales environment. I think it's very uninspiring. People say that, but I like to make sure I get my chicken and rice in. We'll go to a shop.
Fish and rice in it. Chicken, well, whatever. So anyway, I realised this is square peg round hole. Did 2 years and then started letting out summer came around and I started letting out my friends' bedrooms in the hall of residence to foreign students. And I thought, I quite like this. You can make a few quid. I quite like making money and selling. And so after that, I didn't finish university. I did 2 years of a civil engineering degree, realised this is just pointless. And this was back when university was free. In fact, you got money for going to university. And I actually set up a little computer business, buying and selling computer parts and putting together computers and selling them. And I latched onto a school. And I said, look, for every computer you guys sell, I'm going to give you money towards a digital camera or something that you want to, you can pick one of these things. And they said, oh, that's great. Yeah, we really need a digital camera.
Green Shield stamps for schools. Is that, you don't remember Green Shield stamps?
No, I don't.
The more you spent at the co-op, they actually gave you a reel of stamps, and if you could fill in 6 books, then you got yourself a Morphy Richard toaster.
Lovely, very handy for a school. Yeah, very handy for a school. So I did that, and that really got me on the path, and it was a triumphant failure. So I sold loads of computers, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to go build or buy computers now. I wasn't expecting it on the first day, so they went out in the registers. And so the first day I went down there and I was like, right, okay, how many have we got? And she said, oh, I think we've got some orders for you. So she was like, all right, okay, cool. This is before email and phones. Well, not before phones, but phones were around. But anyway, so she starts counting them and it's like 1, 2, 3, really slowly, 4, 5. She got to 25. 25 computers I had sold on that one day. And then after that, there was this steady stream for, probably about 2 weeks or something like that. So I'm like,
do you reckon this is how Michael Dell started? Steve Jobs. Is that how they came about?
I think so. And it was, everything about it was wrong. It was all pirate. It was very piratey. It was just, everything was just dodgy. And anyway, triumphant failure. Sold all the computers, got them delivered. But then guess what? Warranties. I mean, imagine that. Imagine my shock as the first phone call comes in.
It's not working.
Microsoft Word isn't working. I'm like, oh Christ Almighty. So it was a massive lesson. So I at this point was still at uni, and I packed it.
Can't you do a solder scene?
I don't think that's how it works. And it was through the school, so the school had the rubber stamp on it as well to say it's great, and all the rest of it. So anyway, partnerships, really powerful. It really talks about how you can mobilize an army of salespeople for you on your behalf. There's something in it. And then, so after that, I got a job selling. I was like, right, I need some money quick. And this is the only job I've ever had in my life. It was for about 3 months, and it was ink. No, it was computer consumables. It's like, what, when I tell my kids about this, it's like, what are any of those things that you're selling? Floppy disks.
Ink cartridges,
which is
paper,
and it's all that kind of junk. Anyway, but it was like all about sales, old school, really hardcore.
It used to be like, think people like Xerox, or and they used to give away in the machine.
Yeah.
But then you have to buy the cartridges.
That's it. And we were there to try and break that relationship. And so anyway, whatever. It was like a proper baptism of fire. It was really hard.
We
really
love
difficult.
those people as well, because the education, the level of learning that you get, and the training was so good. We had people from Pitney Bowes, from Xerox. They just loved those people. In that
what
business.
A grounding! You were selling something that nobody, and it was drummed into us like this is the most important thing in that guy's day. Most important. He's got to know where his next ink cartridge is coming from. This guy's like, I don't care. It's ink. It just, and you got to have at least 6 months in stock and all of this sort of stuff.
And we'll save you a penny.
And we'll save you a penny. And there was a guy there, and he was my inspiration. And I can't remember his full name, but he was called Paul, and he was a very flamboyant gay fella, and he was a lovely, lovely bloke. And he used to have this customer at the Fiji Bank. I'm probably screwing him up. I mean, it's 25, 30 years ago now, so it's probably not a big deal. Anyway,
You've only said Paul. What's his surname? Let's go proper.
I actually know his surname.
Don't say that.
I remember it. And actually,
Put it in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. And anyway, this guy, Paul, would be buying ink cartridges off this guy that were sort of 70 or 80 quid ink cartridges for £5,000 per ink cartridge. And it was like raping and pillaging. It was absolutely crazy. And this guy just kept coming back for more. And you know what that taught me? It taught me all about the quality of the relationships that you form in sales. Yeah. So this guy felt like Paul was the hero. He was like, he was saving him every time. He was protecting him from the trauma of potentially running out of ink. It's like,
What? I mean, well, to be fair, in this day and age, it is a bit of an issue, isn't it?
Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So he was like a bit of an inspiration, and watching this guy operate and building that relationship, and it was just phenomenal insight for me. I thought it was great. Shall I go on, or I mean, this could take a whole podcast. Or...
Oh no. Okay. So where was the leap from that to now I'm starting a business?
So I knew I liked tech. I was into this was 1997. And I knew I liked tech. And so there was a competition at work at this ink cartridge place where if you sold a certain thing, you got a Waterstones voucher, right? And it was a 50 quid Waterstones voucher. You know, back then I was like, I couldn't dream of having a 50 quid book. I mean, that's crazy money. And I wanted to get into web design because I'd seen this thing that they called the internet, and it was like, it's pretty cool. And there was a book in Waterstones, which was a how to be a web designer sort of book. It was a manual of front page. In the old days, you had Dreamweaver. I don't know if you remember all this stuff, but Dreamweaver or front page, and that was the Microsoft build your website software. So I bought this book, and it was like a monster. It was like you choke a dozen donkeys on it. It was like this thick. Anyway, I started at page one.
Choke a dozen donkeys.
You got it. And you go from there, and I learned how to. So I thought, right, I've got my book now. I'm going to quit my job. And I'm going to go and sell a website. So I haven't even read the book yet at this point. I ain't even got a computer to build a website on.
You sold them all.
I sold them all, yeah. And they all knackered as well. And so it was like, right, okay. So I went out and I found, and believe it or not, the first customer that I ever got in 1999 is a customer at Force 24 now to this day. Believe it or not. And so I went there, saw them. And I was like, you really need to be looking at websites. It's the future. It's like, nah. Anyway, for £800, I sold this business a website, and I thought, right, I better start now looking at that book.
How to make it.
And the interesting thing was that sales first, sales and marketing first, in my opinion. It was like, right, prove the product. But then it was
100%.
It was about, right, this is something that people are going to need.
Yeah.
And now it gave me real direction and focus as to how to use the book.
And a timeline.
And a timeline. You know, I've got 6 weeks to do this thing. And because before that, I tried to pick this book up and I tried to read it and understand it. And I was like, nah, not getting anywhere. Nothing. It's just not landing until all of a sudden there's the pressure. There's the gun against your head. Yeah. You need to figure this out.
Do you think you're a salesperson or a techie?
I'm a salesperson.
Okay. Are you a business person or a leader?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think there is a business. I don't think there's a definition of business person. I think you're either a leader. You're either sales or fulfillment or execution. You are one of those. There's two types of people: farmers or hunters, isn't there? You know, and it's.
We said at S3, we very quickly decided we wanted to be a tribe of business people who sold brilliantly, and it just so happens that our product was human capital that had an opinion. So that added a little bit of complexity. So put the price up. Yeah. Because they might say no or leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was kind of complex. But when you're doing the tech thing, the spend to find talent is not exactly the same as the spend to build a piece of tech. So and double it, put a zero, and still you're not even close, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much more than you think. But here's the other thing, right? What I found with tech is you've built something. And you love it, and you think it's like, this is the best thing ever since sliced bread. And you show it to your mate. And all of a sudden, your mate's like, yeah, it's all right. It'd be good if it did this. I was like, oh.
I'm just going into beta with something.
Yeah.
It's one of those, if I want your opinion, I'll give it you. We're just about to go through that pain where people says, but what's perfect for one business isn't perfect for another.
So difficult.
And I'm not going to have 15, 20,000 iterations of it.
Yeah. That's an important lesson actually about tech is any tech entrepreneur out there, you have to bend yourself out of shape initially because your customer comes along and they're going to pay the bills, right? So you're like, yeah, we'll make a rabbit jump out of the hat. It's not a problem. I'll make that hat happen for you. And then there is a point where you have to stop doing that. And you are like, no, that's what it is. You're buying it or you're not buying it, but I'm okay with either.
Tell me the first 24 months of Force 24.
So
and what created the concept in the first place?
Okay. So fast forward, and I set up a web development agency, Obvious Trajectory, grew that, and I merged that with a creative agency. So I thought this is the big thing for me. I'm going to join my cart to a faster train and all the rest of it. And, that was a really positive experience, all in all. Still friends with the guys over at that agency.
So that's an M&A piece. Were you still major shareholder in your business, or did you have to convert to be shares in Topco?
Yeah, shares in the Topco. That's what I had to do, yeah. So I joined that organisation. I was a much smaller cog in a bigger machine. And so at this point, we were engaged with working with some great clients, and it was like constantly the same challenge. And it was like, yeah, but you just got to be more personal. How do I take what I do in the shop and put it online and make it more personal? And even like, I want to send you a birthday card. And I remember years ago building software that integrated with MailChimp, and it wasn't MailChimp, it was SendGrid at the time actually, that sent you an email on your birthday. And the effort we went to do such a simple thing, this is 2008 or something like that. And it was like massive amounts of money. And then I was like, yeah, and the thing is, when you then click on that email, all of that insight of the fact that the guys clicked on it lives in MailChimp or SendGrid or whatever. It needs to come over here so salespeople can get involved.
Yeah.
And then guess what? When he clicks on it, he then goes there. It's like, we have to be able to tell sales guys this has happened. So the initial founding vision, and actually there was a story, and I don't know where you sit on all this sort of stuff, but I won't say I was super. I believe in the
karma.
No, it's like it's not just you. I believe you're connected to a greater thing.
Oh fuck!
I know, I know, right?
Strap in, everybody.
Strap in. So what happened was I actually went through some trauma at work, and it was basically I came into work one day, and the code director came and said, "I've got some bad news. You sit down. There's been an allegation. Remember those words, like clear as day. It's been an allegation." I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah, I'm going to have to suspend you on the grounds of gross misconduct. So I was like, oh, fuck. I'm going to say fuck on here.
Yeah.
Brilliant, okay.
Fuck.
So I was like, oh, shit. And so my entire world, I had a wife and a baby that was due. And it's like, when you're like 25 or 26 or whatever it was, every penny you earn goes on cars, boats, all sorts of just fun stuff going on. Every penny I had was in fun stuff. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I walked out the office, and I got into my brand new Range Rover, obviously, at the time. And I drove it out the car park. And by the time I had hit the main road, which was 10 meters, everything about Force 24 had formed in my head. Everything. And all I had to do was get home, open my laptop, open up Keynote, just throw it all down as quickly as I could. It's just everything that I knew that had just come in this vision was like, shit, I've got to do that. It's called Force 24. It does this, it does that, it does the other. And the weirdest thing ever, every part of that original vision is the part that stands true today. When I look at the things that have come and gone and been bolted on, it's like, yeah, it's a bit whimsical and a bit flimsy or whatever. But fundamentally, what that vision told me is still true today. And I'm like, what?
It's in its DNA. It's core.
It's in its core. That's it. And I love that. I love that about it. It's like, you could think, well, it's not crafted. It's come out of somewhere that you couldn't have.
So for people who don't know Force 24,
yes.
So I'll give it a bash, and then you can correct me. Outbound, inbound, email tool which allows you to create amazing landing pages, multimedia, so nothing else out there. You can actually have video or infographic, invites, click-through invites. It can have top tips. It can have everything that you want that makes your content open. Your open rates go through a roof, but also makes your stuff sticky. And then people send it on internally, and you can capture all of that data. And it's, how have I done? Is that close?
I'd give you a 4.
Oh, you dick. Oh, you dick. Okay.
I've had years of pitching this. So,
this might be call my bluff. Go on, then you'll go.
Okay, so basically...
Elevator, 11 seconds, go.
We consume data from various sources, ATSs, CRM platforms, websites, whatever. We analyze that data and we help marketeers make better decisions. What we do, and when we allow people to execute, so that might be email, might be WhatsApp.
Time.
You got me.
I went with me.
But, the point is, we don't make great marketeers. You said, I love the product. I get great this, that. And I'm like, yeah, but that's you. That is you.
We've got a lot of content. Yeah, we create great content. But
you're engaging.
But nothing is as compelling in terms of its outbound reach as Force 24. It's a grown-up, sophisticated product, so don't expect it to be easy to use first time, right? It's almost like you want to go, if you're going to go skiing, you're not going to go off that big jump, right? You're not going to go down a 3-diamond run on your first go. You got to learn how to.
I like the way you went with the diamonds there, not the traditional European black routes.
Yeah, I've got a few bob these days. so if it's a tool to use. It's muscle memory.
It's like if I gave you the keys to a helicopter, what are you just getting in it and driving off to Spain? No, you wouldn't dare.
It wouldn't make it. But if it was a plane, and I have got my pilot stuff.
Have you? Yeah, I did not know that about you.
Yeah, I'm a very smart guy.
Well done.
I just keep it under the radar. Hi everyone, and a massive shout out to our main sponsor for season 4, the recruitment special of Pints of View. Now, Force 24 are exceptional. They do something that nobody else does, which is always pretty cool. If you're looking at sending out outbound email campaigns, multimedia messaging, including video and infographics, nobody else can do this. Everybody else sends out flat words. So your likes of Sourcewell and Elay can't do this. Force 24 do something special. Well, I use them, the RDLC uses them, and anybody who's taking their marketing really seriously will be using them. It's very clever. It's just a game changer. I like it. You should. But I think what you're saying there, and you're being very generous with that, it's the tool that I feel most comfortable with, that I know it's worth me putting effort into my content.
Bingo.
Because now my content works. Yeah. So when I work with Del, who is pretty much my black belt in using Force 24, he'll say, what's your... So I always think about marketing, it starts with data. Because having shit data means it doesn't matter how great the message is, if it only gets to 4 people, you're fucked. Yeah. So data, message, content, and then the management of that.
Yeah.
So we will think maybe, I don't know, it's been different because I've been away a bit. I was on the telly, but I don't like mention.
Been inside.
I've been inside, mate. Yeah. But it's all about creating a narrative that we want.
Yeah.
And because we create so much video.
Yeah.
I've got 700 videos I can repurpose. I've got loads of infographics that I've been doing. So over a period of time, it's almost nothing for me to put that together.
Yeah.
And now it's the tool that I get the best rate of return from.
Honestly, the thing is, you are talking about people like you, and there are lots, and nobody's like you. Just be clear. But what we find, especially in the recruitment industry, is that you've got a lot of personalities with all of the great ideas. It's the execution and put down that they stick with. And what we find is we're struggling to get the engagement rates. And then you look at it and you think, hold on a minute, I've just met you, right? And you are a whirlwind. You come in with energy, you come in with passion, and your recruitment business is full of life and energy. And you've put out a salary guide that you did in 1989 that you've been rebranding as 20, every year you've just changed 1989 to 2000 and
put a grand on.
Yeah, put a grand on, and then you're expecting that is somehow going to make it work. But you put the time, the effort. You were saying before about your life is a 7-day-a-week work week, and it's constantly thinking.
So here's one for you.
Yeah.
I've never been into a meeting with a customer or a prospect, and I've had to say, bear with me 1 second, and phone up my marketing team to ask them what to say next. The idea and the narrative comes from the sales team and the leaders and the CEO.
Yeah.
And then your marketing team make that come true.
Yeah.
As opposed to, a lot of people say, well, I've just spent 30, 60, 100 grand on a marketing personal team.
Yeah.
It's up to them. It's like, what do they know?
No, they don't.
And they don't understand what is compelling or competitive.
They know how to do the put down, right? But
Yeah.
the magic comes from you. The soul and the energy comes from you, and that's
100%.
That's what it.
So Emma blocks out my time. So it's either 12 weeks or 16 weeks. That's how far I'm working in advance.
Yeah.
So there's never that, okay, we need something out to go out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because that's when the wheels fall off, the quality goes down the drain, and actually nothing ever happens. Because I prefer to put nothing out and the shit out.
I agree.
And then trying to find, it's so much easier. She'll block out 2 days of my diary,
Yeah.
thinking time,
Yeah.
where I just have to come up with creative narrative. And then I just throw it over my shoulder, and I've got a team of people with virtual wheelbarrows just
Yeah.
trying to pick up the jobs.
That's really how you should be used. That
Right.
is exactly it. And when we talk then about the fundamentals of our product, it's not about capturing that creativity. That's what the human does. And, and people talk about what's the future of the marketing department with ChatGPT and AI and all the rest of it. It's like, it's not going to change too much. I would say if you take the average YouTuber, right, and you take a photograph of a YouTuber, whatever discipline it is that you're interested in, you follow, that's the shape of a modern marketeer or a modern marketing department. They've got to be, they're all about content. If it isn't good enough, don't say it. They're going to be all about video. I think video is absolutely critical. And that, when you take that guy, he's going to be mostly focused on the creative and content aspect, not about the reporting and insights. That just keeps your bosses happy when things aren't manifesting in the right way that they understand.
So there are a couple of things that we totally agree on, and there's a couple that we don't. ROI, I think we are both on point about the ROI of marketing. The thing that we probably won't agree on is, I think, cadence,
Right.
because I'm loud,
Yeah.
and sometimes that works really well for me, but I'm not sure that you think saying less but more powerfully works better than me just being like a perpetual noise machine.
Okay. So we do agree. That's the good news. Okay. So, but the difference is, that was easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Next. No, the difference is when you've got a message to say, right? And you've got, 1,000 people, 10,000, 100,000 people in your audience, whatever it may be. Not every one of those 100,000 people are going to want to hear it at the rate in which you want to say it. And the magic comes from recognizing that doesn't fit these guys. And actually, I'm going to say it to these guys. So Microsoft say the optimum amount of times that you should be communicating via email to anybody is 3 times a week. B2B, B2C, they say, like, we don't care. Doesn't matter. It's 3 times a week. Right. And so I agree. But they also go on to say that in that email, you should be saying what you need to say within 10 words.
Beautiful. Less is more.
Less is more.
So we listen. I listened to you. You did a great thing at Smith and Walensky with us maybe 4 years ago. We've known each other for a while now. Brendan, I've even got hair back. And you were talking about the cadence. So the nice thing is you can create a really, and I totally believe this. So 4 words on your subject line, 10 words on your topic. Click here if you want more.
Yeah.
And then it's down to them if they want to do that.
Yeah.
And then if they don't open it on a Monday, I'd redo the subject line on a Wednesday. I'd redo my first line.
Yeah.
And I send them to the same content because that's built.
Why not?
And if they don't open it on a Wednesday, I'll send it back out on a Friday.
Yeah.
And then on the Tuesday. So I've got 4 hits on that.
Yeah.
And then my next message is now going out the next week. So every 2 weeks, I've got a new message. But I'm a machine for building content.
Yes.
And as long as it's really relevant, I think you could call everyone every day. You've got something to say to them.
Yes, that's the
So,
point.
and it can
Yeah.
be as little as when I used to phone people, I used to phone them up. If I couldn't get hold of you, I'd just drop me a joke, and I'd
Yeah.
literally on your voicemail. Why can't you trust atoms? Because bullshit. They call me a liar because they make up everything, right? So I would just drop that and just say, I'm just thinking of you. It's City United this weekend. You're going to get smashed. Peace and love, GG.
Yeah.
Or Backpage Gary, because I wanted people to know where I was and how to find my number. So I'm building a relationship, even though it's very one-sided, for a
Beautifully
very
said.
long period of time.
Beautifully said. I have an simile that I use, and it's like, if I wanted to invite you to the pub, right? Let's pretend you were being hard to get, right? The first thing that
Me to a pub.
I know.
Know thyself.
Just pretend.
Okay.
So I'd say, do you want to go to the pub? Yeah, I don't tell you which pub. I don't necessarily even go into, because I know I'm in a conversation, and I'm going to listen to see how you respond on the first one.
What's in it for me?
I'll buy you a pint.
Just
Game.
one?
And then I'd go on to some social proof. I'll say, oh, the lads will be down the pub. It'd be great. And then I'll go on to a bit of logic. And logic would be, well, I'll buy you a pint. We'll have a great laugh. Lads will be down there. Equals good time. Yeah. And then I'd go to urgency. And you know, I'd even do a bit of fear. You know, I'd be like, oh, well, you don't want to miss out on going to the pub. You know,
Or FUD. Do you know FUD?
No, I don't.
Fear, uncertainty.
Yeah.
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yes. So you'd go through those sort of human arguments if you were doing this naturally. And what I'm saying to you is, if you've got a piece of content, you can circle through that range of emotions, knowing that you only have to be just scratching, not giving the full meal. Because if they want it, that's the intent.
My nemesis.
Yeah.
When I see people's content, I say, before you send it to me, halve it again, and then halve it again. And you're probably close. And if you're sending me anything that's got more than one message in it, I won't read it.
Don't do it. Not interested.
Because that's 4 bits of content if you've got 4 messages.
Have you heard this? I didn't have time for the short story, so I'll give you the long story.
Sorry, who's ever said that?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Brilliant. Is that the Bible?
It might have been. That's how far back it goes. I think it was in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, actually. That precedes the Bible. Anyway, whatever. So I'm an advocate of about saying more. I agree with your point, but it's about saying more to less people.
I heard something which I thought was really funny. I'll lose a whole audience here. Somebody said, and I'm not sure if they were serious, but it was very funny. And I said that I'm not really spiritual. I believe in something, but I don't know. But I don't really believe in religion as such. It's killed more people than a tsetse fly. Yeah. But someone said, well, let's face facts. The only reason that the dinosaurs didn't actually make it onto Noah's Ark is they were too big. So I live with a world of nutters. Now,
Brilliant.
Tell me about the tech startup boom bust WeWork generation, where people are setting up businesses using all this money from nowhere, without a plan, and
it's fun. Spending.
But to be fair, you were a successful entrepreneur who did great things, and then went on somebody else's ticket to learn to become a better business person.
You talk about this, and I totally agree with you. Walking out straight out of university or college or whatever.
Oh, you're doomed to failure.
You're just doomed to failure. You make all the mistakes.
And you should never use your parents' money at that point, because there'll be a time when you actually need it.
That's it. Family, fools. Friends, and fools.
Right. Okay.
3 Fs. They're the early stage funding.
Put a pony in your pocket.
Beautiful. So it's happening again, by the way. Right now, the WeWork boom bust, it's happening again right now. AI right now is like shiny bits of silver everywhere. Yeah, and everybody's got a version of ChatGPT spun up that is doing something to them. I actually think, I do agree, I think ChatGPT is one of the most wonderful inventions. It's a fantastic thing. But I think it's great for you in the future to have your own GPT, and for people to ask, Gigi, how would you deal with this? And you fed in all, so building the GPTs is really
There's
cool.
a thing.
Yeah.
Right. So there's actually an app. Oh, I wish I could remember what it was called, because Dean showed me. We put it in the show notes. But you can actually ask people, and I put my name on it. And if you want to ask me a question, you pay me $50.
Why not?
And if you want a video answer, it's like $200.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh,
Amazing.
I mean, that's there.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Is it what's Synthesia or whatever, where you can
Yeah.
create these? Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is Gordon Ramsay, for example, would be, I'd say, how was the best way to cook an omelette? And Gordon Ramsay would tell me.
Get somebody else to do it for you.
So I think AI it's a wonderful thing. But what I am seeing is though that we've not yet landed on what it is that the future of AI is going to be. So, and I don't know. So I'm not going to give you any insight here, but I am saying that it's really risky as a tech business to just throw a load of money at building against AI. Because I watched at the start when ChatGPT was released in November 22, was it, or October? I don't even know when it was.
It was a toddler. It's 2 years old.
It is.
It's but a toddler. Imagine when it's a teenager.
Exactly.
We are in shit then.
Yeah. And so whilst that's happened, we've seen that some of the ideas that we created and some of the thinking, we need to do this, it then got totally usurped by, they already do that now. So actually if we'd have built on that. So proper tech businesses are struggling.
So I struggle with ChatGPT a bit.
Yeah, clearly not. You're doing pretty good.
I use Bard.
Oh, yeah, good.
Because I think it's better. It's more. It's easier to use once you know how to use it. Mm-hmm. And then I also I go Bard, ChatGPT, Bard.
Yeah.
And then I make it personal and I just get rid of all the fluffery. Yeah. And that's works brilliantly for me. But I do think there are businesses who are going to align themselves to this. So I'm interested to know if Force 24, if somebody's creating content, is there a button to say, do you want us to improve this, like LinkedIn are doing?
When's this podcast going out?
When's this podcast going out?
End of May.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. By the end of June, there'll be a button.
Okay, so, and it just makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
It does,
so
but
lean into it.
I'm not excited about it though. We're going to build it because we need to build it. But I'm not there saying, "Oh, guys, guess what? The biggest thing in the world ever." Normally, I'm eulogizing about these things. I'm like, "Yeah, we did it because we had to." But in actual fact, that's not where I see AI actually being in our product.
So I'm getting nervous about next question.
Go on, hit me up.
I think recruitment businesses are generally really quite savvy and smart. I mean, we hate paying for anything. Yeah. We see the cost in everything first, rather than the value of it.
Correct. Yes, I agree.
And sometimes we don't invest, and maybe it's everyone's feeling a little bit bruised and hurt at the moment. It's been a tough 18 months. Yeah. So with that in mind, what sectors? Because I love looking at other sectors who do things better than ours. I think there are so many great brands and businesses out there that we could learn from, that we become so centralized and, we just bury our heads. And, I speak to 5 other recruitment businesses, so I know everything that's going on in our sector. Yeah. Look up. It's like London's beautiful. If you look up, it's beautiful. Yeah. What sectors are using Force 24 better than recruiters right now?
Okay, so that's a great.
And you aren't going to alienate anyone here that much.
No, I love it. I love it because actually, I think one of our superpowers is the fact that we're not. Or whilst the recruitment sector is a massive part of our world and our business, and we love it dearly, there are lots of other sectors that are doing things that we are aiming to bring to you guys. And so, from that, for example, if you take. You take the emerging retail e-commerce brands, right? Okay, we don't serve retail e-commerce, so we can't help retail e-commerce platforms, but I do like it, and we're learning from them, and we're bringing it around the client base. So you're on Instagram, right? Flicking through Instagram, and there's a sweet pair of sunglasses, and you're like, I like that. Now you didn't know you wanted sunglasses. You had no idea you wanted sunglasses, but you just seen those sunglasses. And you're like, click on that. You go onto it, and guess what? What happens next? You get a pop-up saying, Gigi, do you want 15% off these? And what do? You think, go on. Well, I don't not want 15% off.
Yeah, I generally hang on for a week because it gets cheaper.
Of course it does. But you also know that if you don't give them your email address, you're not getting it cheaper.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting fact, actually. So pre-pandemic, and I don't think the pandemic is relevant here. I just think it is just a weird marker in time. Pre-pandemic, pop-up accept rates were lower than 1%. So pop-up would show, you'd go, get away from me, and you'd immediately close it, right? Now what happens?
That's weird.
30%. You're getting up to 30%. So we're at 20s, in the 20s, it hovers, it goes also. So what happens now is we've been taught something, that pop-ups do good things, and I want to save money. And I'm like, when's the pop-up going to show? There it is. And now I want to put. So then we then say, right, okay, recruiters of the world, assemble. How do we take that and play with that emotion? How do
Hogshead! Hogshead!
I knew you'd take that and run with it. Brilliant. Beautiful. So how do we do something with that? How do we play with that emotion? I don't necessarily want to sign now. I don't want to apply now. I'm just interested. Because, you might have things that might fit me better, but so the value of my personal data, strangely enough, in a world where it's all about your data, the value of my personal data to me is actually reduced. I don't care about it. I'd be like, yeah, okay. As long as it's got some benefit.
Okay, I can't let this go. I will get you a beer. The world has changed. It's dynamic. If we went back to 2022, which is the best year recruitment ever had in its absolute living life and
Great
history,
times.
amazing. Clients, if it was, they just didn't even care what they were taking on. It was just ridiculous. Love clients, but they were made so many mistakes, and then suddenly job flow reduced. What percentage of your recruitment customers are now totally besotted and fixed on it's all about winning clients and winning jobs, because I dare say it's too few, because it should be everyone.
Do you know, it's every sales conversation is about that. Every customer, on the other hand, it's a different conversation. So it's like you buy Force 24 on the premise that it's going to answer the question. But then what happens is everything else gets in the way. And so, BD is, it's got to be, and here's a really another sort of slightly tangential observation. And that is recruitment brands have not yet cottoned on to the fact that I'm just a person, right? I'm not a business. I'm just person.
A girl.
But I was going to go into the Barbie one, the Ken enough, but I just haven't got your pipes, so I can't compete with that. The thing that I want really for any recruitment business to recognize is the fact I now, as a brand, have an obligation to entertain, right? So you don't see adverts as a business person anymore. You've thumb-stopping content, as I heard the other day, right? So I'm in my inbox, I'm in my Insta feed, whatever it may be. It's got to be good enough, got to be good enough for me to stop and engage with. Whereas if I'm still in this world where, it's a business-to-business message, therefore I will do it about business things, it's boring, you skip straight past it. So this whole B2B, B2C facade has now finally, in my opinion, throw it in the bin. And actually, you are just talking to people. And people are watching your adverts at crazy hours of the day, night or morning, and they're busy. Yeah. And so I would say that actually, I can't remember the original question. I've gone so far off piste on this particular track.
I was just letting you run with it, just saying if you're going to be coming back. I saw the bread trail and thought, no, he's not coming back for that. Yeah. So it's, are people still doing the really shit thing of find a candidate, try to get them a job, or they're using tools such as Force 24 to knock on the front door or the back door or all the doors with a customer community to create a relationship where you can become a friend?
That's it. You think about that analogy you gave a moment ago. Yeah, you're ringing up. It's like, and you left the joke. You like, why should atoms not be trusted? Whatever.
Yeah.
What are you doing there? You specking a CV at that point?
Never. And I never would.
No,
because that's not how recruitment really ever works.
Bingo.
I just want to get an unfair advantage. So give it to me first.
GG, this is the magic right here. This is the magic. It's not saying it doesn't exist. It's not saying it shouldn't exist, but it's saying that it's not the only game in town.
No, it shouldn't exist.
Businesses
It's dead.
that are only trading on the value of the relationships that the consultants hold are fundamentally doomed to failure over the course of time. Brand, agency infrastructure, having a purpose and a meaning. I've listened to you say before in the past, the last thing the world needs is another recruitment agency. So let's get serious about that, and let's say what we stand for, and let's propagate that message.
The thing is that if you spec in one TV, you might get a placement. But if you make a relationship with a senior decision maker, you might win every project they are ever going to do ever.
Paul,
and you have them from life.
Think of Paul at the ink cartridge place.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Could I pay you more?
Exactly.
Please, can I go to Wimbledon? Would you pay me more? That's brilliant. Big shout out to RDLC, although I'm a big part of it. The RDLC have, in their infinite wisdom, decided to sponsor yet another season, the recruitment special of Pints of View. You must have been living under a rock if you run a recruitment business and are not part of the RDLC. It is the game changer, and it is the best network for people who are aspirational and trying to achieve something very clever. A network, a community, hookups, meetups, the best deals on all of the tech that you actually need. We go kicking the tires so you don't need to. It gives you an opportunity to ratify your decisions, be part of something that's bigger than you, and there's no need to be lonely at the top of a business. Now you've got 300, we are Sparta, against the rest of the world. So it's us against everybody else. It kind of works that way. We've kept out all of the idiots from recruitment, apart from me, but they need me to make it work. Thank you, RDLC. Hopefully see you soon. So as people can see that we've just reloaded and had a wee break.
Cheers.
Did you just chain me 3 cigarettes again?
I did, yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you smell divine.
Thank you.
So there's a couple of things to talk about.
Yeah.
Leadership
Yes.
and the investment culture.
Uh-huh.
Because I think a lot of people are thinking about, everyone's got a business idea in them. Everyone's got a book in them. Where should we go?
Leadership.
Yeah, I think so. So managing a business versus being, a fix by product's got to be the best thing in the world. Yeah. And the lessons learned managing the business, knowing that if you are going to go through that, investment piece eventually, every pound spent early doors and getting it right as quick as you can.
It's critical.
Yeah. So tell us about your whole leadership thing.
So leadership, I think, is a really misunderstood discipline, if you like. And it's probably the most important thing that any entrepreneur should embrace and own. Fundamentally, your job as a leader and as an entrepreneur is to get people to follow you. And it's very easy in the early doors to believe that the way that you're doing it is the way that it needs to be moving forward. So in an early startup business, your leadership is follow me. This is how I do it. This is what I do. This is how I want it to be. This is everything. But then that has to very quickly shift to leaving enough oxygen in the room for those people that you're leading to be able to prove and show you their abilities to become leaders as well. So when you are, you're running a 5-man team or a 3-man team or a 10-man team, you are connected to everybody in the business, and they're all watching what you do, getting to work early, going home late, skipping lunch, and all of this kind of stuff, which aren't necessarily healthy habits, by the way. I don't necessarily agree that being a great leader is never taking a moment off. I think you've proven the balance is critical. But then as time goes by, you need to inspire those people to become leaders of their own as they become leaders of their pods or their departments. And that's where your job now switches. And you are not then managing in the same way that you were before. You're trying to now create a bigger vision. It's that famous line, I can't remember the movie or whatever it was, where the janitor at NASA, he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it was JFK. He goes, what are you doing? I'm helping get a man on the moon.
Putting a man on the moon, right? That epitomized leadership. And what I found is, and I'm going through a bit of an epitome epitome, is that the right word?
Epiphany.
Epiphany is really bad, isn't it? I don't know. I'm going through a bit of an epiphany now, which is why it's something that I said, I want to talk about this, is because I'm recognizing how my style has been stifling that ability for leaders to really shine. And so, for example, people, they're talking to customers, they'd be emailing me and saying, what do you think we should do on this? And how should we do this? And it's very easy to say, oh, you should go and speak to your line manager and they'll look after it for you. It feels like a cop-out. But actually, that investment that you make there and that shift that you have to make as an individual at this point is critical. And the biggest point that I want to say, as I've already said, oxygen in the room. When I go on holiday, everybody races forwards now to come and tell me the great things that they've done. And that is so inspiring and powerful. And it was a lesson learned only recently when I went to Ibiza, actually. I went away and I came back and everybody ran forwards with these great things. And I thought, you know what? And prior to that, I came back after Christmas and I was like, something has to change. I need to change how I think, how I operate, because I'm just running myself ragged. I need to change, and I'm going to be really clear on my vision. I'm going to be really clear on the standards that I want to set, and I want to be really clear on the direction that we're going. All right, I'm not going to put a man on the moon, but I am going to do something that's pretty cool. And being clear on that and making sure that people are with you. And I also then I listened to the Elon Musk book, the autobiography book, and it's just phenomenal. That guy's mental. Love him or loathe him. That guy is mental, but my God, what he embraces is this, as he calls it, a maniacal obsession on a thing, be it get Teslas to produce 300,000 Model 3s in a week or whatever, and he builds a tent outside the factory in wherever it is. It's this maniacal obsession, and what it is saying, look, here's the really clear goal that we have set, and it's going to be a stretch, guys. So get your troops in the trenches, motivate them, and let's do this together. The glasses are off.
The glasses are off. I'm of a generation where we used to have really shit TV during our summer holidays. So you used to have, Snow White Horses, The Flashing Blade, Banana Splits.
Classics.
So the Snow White Horses, and it would start with this image of these white horses running at full tilt with a stallion at the front of it, and they were actually running through these canyons.
Yeah.
And I used to use it as an analogy for the business. I want to be on top of that lead stallion and using all my experience to say, go left here, go right there. But I want the energy to come from everybody else. That's the oxygen. But the one thing I learned and failed at before I got it right, everybody in your business who goes to work for you wants to please you.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be feel valued, mm-hmm. and they want to enjoy their day.
Yeah.
But unless they know what good looks like,
yeah,
then they can't please you, which means then you have to find reasons to say well done. And if it's not clear and it's in front of them. So we used to put in lots of measures so everyone knew what I looked at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will agree where they're going to go. And generally, they set their own targets. And I said, halve it, take a 0 off, and you won't even get there. But thank you very much. So it wasn't about under promise and over deliver. Everybody wanted to be. It's cool to be good at S3.
Yeah.
And we've got that across so many businesses now at the IDLC. So now it's all right. So that's your target. This is how I would do it. If you share your risk with me. So you tell me what you're going to do and we agree it, then it's my fault.
Yeah.
If you do it all by yourself independently, then it's your fault.
Yeah.
But if you do something that's absolutely brilliant,
yeah,
I need to know about it because I'm going to copy it and make everyone else do it.
Great way of putting it. Yeah.
And that was, so one, get them to bring the energy. That's them.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second part was making it really crystal clear what good looks like.
Yeah.
And the third thing is, I measure people. If you did something that was so good,
yeah.
Right, Ian Simpkins hates this, but if you go to anywhere in the world, you want a Big Mac, pretty much to the penny or cent how long it's going to take, what the quality is going to be.
Yeah.
It's pretty much there. But if somebody wants an extra gherkin, as somebody said to me this morning, they want an extra gherkin, Now, if that means
What were you doing shift at Donald's?
Me, imagine. Well, we're looking at the size of me. Yeah, I ate them out of house and home. The founder. Then everybody across our business, which is was 2,500 people, had to do it.
Yeah.
And then if you do something different, but that's down to you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
But we're all looking at exactly the same page of numbers.
Yeah.
So if it goes wrong, the only person that can blame is you.
Yeah. And so here's the challenge though. So you tell me how you're going to measure me, and I'll tell you how I'm going to act. And that's a great way of looking at it. Now in a tech business, it's actually really difficult to tell somebody.
It's so much more difficult.
What are you going to measure me on? And actually, so we all know, and you've recounted the stories before of the top biller. And the top biller is an absolute arsehole. And is that the quality that I want to propagate? Is that what I want other people to be like?
It's better to have a hole in your floor than an arsehole.
Exactly the point. And so it's about, as I say, you leading from the front. You're the guy on the front stallion, but the energy is coming from all the other stallions that are following that stallion. Yeah. So that the wave, everything that's coming is a collective, and getting that stallion that can run really fast on his own it's great for a while, but it's actually really counterproductive because everybody starts to fragment.
So I'm a big fan of multi-level marketing pyramid schemes, right? And I learned them all.
Yeah.
And Bill said once, as long as you're the fairy on the Christmas tree, doesn't matter what the baubles are called. But there were lots of people who reached they'd hit their glass ceiling.
Yeah. And
sometimes you had to create a cupboard and chuck them in and throw a mistake once a month and get them out the way.
Yeah.
So that the next team of people, lads and ladies, can come through, and then you can actually have more teams. So your pyramid gets fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter, rather than I'm not trying to build the shard.
Yeah.
I'd like to have like a dome like that. I prefer to have the O2 than the shard.
Yeah.
As a business, because if one bit goes wrong,
it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Yeah.
It's much more hard to do in a tech environment, I'm guessing.
It is, because you've got different functions that do very different things, and where you in a business. So talking about the recruitment sector for a moment, it's really easy to motivate, and this actually is a criticism of the sector, is it's really easy to motivate billers, right? What about all the back office guys?
Yeah, everybody in my business had a promise-related pay. Everyone.
And so they should. And how does that guy know that guy there that's doing the resourcing is working to the same degree and the same amount of effort, same passion, same energy? And same with tech businesses. You've got engineers, you've got a product team, you've got all sorts of different functions. So you've got to find reasons for them to buy in, and they are much more amenable to a vision. That the janitor, what's his KPIs?
Right, yeah.
And so if
sweep a lot.
Yeah, just there you go. I'm doing really good sweeping. Have we got there yet?
Yeah.
And so, when you've got that vision and you've got that absolute clarity as to this is what we're doing, this is what the whole business is engaged in, you can really, really move at pace.
Putting a man on the moon.
Yeah.
6 words.
Oh, I thought it was going to be an acronym then.
No, but when people put their vision and their strategies together, it's like bore off.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what are you trying to do? We want to be the best player. Do you really?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Here's the thing, Simon Sinek.
I want everyone in the business to earn 150 grand.
Yeah. Great.
That's my vision. That's my passion. Because if we do that, we hit every other target.
Yeah. And when we're looking at it internally at what I'm going to get out of it, it's called the giver's heart. Simon Sinek calls it the giver's heart. And if you can create a vision and mission, which is almost selfless, I'm fixing this for the customer. I'm fixing that challenge for the customer. I'm going to make that better for the customer. And that's what I believe in.
Do you pay people on feedback forms? Is that part of people's related pay?
That's a good idea, though.
So if you take a problem, you fix it. Did we fix it? Did we fix it in a timely manner? Is it a smiley face? Because it depends on how many smiley faces they get and what their performance-related pay is.
You tell me how you're going to measure me, and I'll tell you how I'll act. Yeah, and we call it delight. We're all about delight.
You get that for free, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So let's talk about investment, right?
Yeah.
Because all this is leading to an end game.
Yeah.
and an end goal. I mean, most businesses
Yeah.
don't ever make it.
Yeah.
Yours is one that 100% will. You've gone through half the journey already, given the VCs,
Yeah.
having people on your board,
Yeah.
having to behave more grown up.
Yeah.
The minute you give away a penny, it's
Somebody else's business.
somebody else's business. Golden shares.
Yeah.
Do you want to just tell us and show everyone that journey?
Yeah. So firstly, I think, anything that's different isn't necessarily something you've got to shy away from. And, having investors, especially institutional money, is very different. Especially if you've grown up through an agency, which is, there's a director still there that's taking the money off the table, and he's got the Lamborghini and he's got the nice house out in Ibiza and all the rest of it. Then
All right, let it go.
See what I did there?
It was a personal attack.
See what I did?
Unbelievable.
So you're going to think that that's the end goal. That's my trappings. That's what I'm going for. And actually, you're just going to get sorely disappointed. So when you take PE money, you essentially give away the keys to the bank account. And that's a massive thing to get across. You as a director will probably be on a pay-as-you-earn scheme.
Yeah,
Where
there's that golden share thing for people who don't understand that there's controls, that you have to have a remuneration committee. You can't pay yourself anything, everything that you want. Now you have to play as a proper grown up with the bank account, and you need to be doing constant due diligence to appease a set of non-execs who are protecting the VC's money.
Absolutely. You are appointed a chair from day one. That's really important. And you will have a requirement to have an FD. And that FD will be a really, really tightly coupled to the bank account and every penny. And as you say, you'll have a REMCOM, remuneration committee. And there will be baked into your agreement thresholds that says you cannot hire anybody that's more than 50k without having sign off from the REMCOM. You cannot affect somebody's package that's greater than 50k without having sign off from the REMCOM. You can't buy anything more than 10 grand without having sign off from
You
the
need a
committee.
certain percentage of people who are left-handed. Right, there's
And so that's really, really different. And most entrepreneurs really struggle with that. Now, I don't know whether I'm coming at this yet from an angle of saying, don't do it. Because that sometimes is how I portray it. It's like, no, it's the worst thing ever. No, it's different. It's better, different. And I'm coming out the other side. Now I'm learning how to play that game. I'm understanding what it's all about. And they want to tie you to the shared exit. So, I remember having a conversation with our PE house. And I was like, I'm not really in love with that salary that we've put forward. So I'd like to pay myself more. Can we vote a bonus at the end of the year? Why would I vote you a bonus? Was the response. Why would I do that?
Okay, so that's Never Split the Difference. If you've read that book, how can I do that?
I haven't read it, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And so then maybe that was a technique that they used. The principle was
100% it is.
I want to actually, if I've got spare
Why wouldn't
funds, I want to put it into another sales guy. I want to put it into more engineers. I want to put it over here, over here, over here, over here. We'll just go faster. And so the mentality is very different to that of an entrepreneur. Whereas some of it is left on the table for the trappings, because that is part of what I'm doing it for.
Well, you've got to enjoy it. It's one of the most
got
common,
to enjoy it.
One of the most common things that I do as a non-exec. So I clicked over 100 this year. So gigs that I've done. Then that's quite a lot, right?
Well done.
Yeah, I'm quite proud of that. Yeah. And I always think that a non-exec's for Christmas, not for life. That you're good for a certain thing. And if people have had a non-exec for 10, 20 years, it's like, what the fuck are you up to? There was probably better people there. You wouldn't have needed them. Yeah. But it's giving people pay rises and just like that you should be earning more money every year.
Yeah.
And that's what you go to work for. And if the reward doesn't match the effort that you're putting in, then why are you going to work that hard? And if you're not the happiest person in that business as the person who started it, is running it, what are we doing it for? Why would anybody else be inspired to say, well, he's a miserable sin. He's 50 grand short of a smile. For what?
I think we all are 50 grand short of a smile, aren't we?
Yeah. But that's that's the nature of the beast. Yeah. But it's quite complex getting to that situation where people, jumping through hoops and the fees that you have to pay both sides.
Oh my Lord. If somebody had told me. So we are about £8 million in deep in investment. And I probably should ask everybody to sign an NDA on at that point. But we're about £8 million.
Who's listening?
Who's listening? Yeah, if that'd be all right.
There's only a couple of people in China. It should be fine.
So so it's a serious and considerable amount of money. And they obviously expect their outcome. I can't remember where I was going with this. It was a really good point.
Yes, we were talking about spending. So
we've both forgotten.
Yeah, we have. James, what were we talking about?
I haven't got a clue. You two talk a language. Rec tech, I haven't got a clue.
Rom-com, money, it's their money, they had control.
Control, yeah.
I think you were trying to make yourself a bonus and someone told you no.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
I'm working hard, you're working really hard.
I'm working really hard.
But they put 8 million in, so they're afforded some. Oh, and the money it cost.
Oh, that was it. Well done. Excellent. Yeah, excellent. So 8 million.
D4.
8 million in, and there's at least £700,000 worth of fees. Think about that.
Well,
solicitors writing letters.
I think you got cheap.
Yeah, well, probably. We're from the north,
but I do think, but the money that you spend today to start running a tight ship, no more having a wooden floor in your house, and putting it through the books, right? Or if anyone ever did any random shit like that, because
I mean, who would admit to such a thing, you know? Actually, that's the interesting thing. So back then, when we took that money, it was a growth at all costs, and so what happens is money lands in the business. They need to see you deploy it. So that's the weird thing. So you're a business person. As I said to you before at the start, is money does not make bad businesses good. It just amplifies the problem.
Oh, you see it fast.
Oh, Christ, not many. And so you've got a VC that sat there saying, right, we need to deploy capital. We need to start making shapes.
Making it work for you.
Because what's the good of you having 8 million quid in your bank?
Sat in the bank. Yeah.
There's no point. So you have to start deploying it. Immediately that sends you into a loss-making situation.
Panic mode.
And do you know
stress.
And stress like you wouldn't believe. But when you are a loss-making entity, because you have got 10, 15 different investments in flight, your mindset, your head changes. And that's really, and it can be really detrimental. And that's hard. You have to keep a very cool, calm disposition.
Yeah.
And you a lot of businesses are, they're running at the point where actually, if it all went wrong, I could probably bail it out. I could remortgage a house and sort it all out. But when you're at that level, it's like, no, it has to be working.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit scary.
It is when we say grow or die.
Yeah.
That's when that actually really becomes a meaningful phrase. I always think as well that sometimes when I was in business, during my thinking day, I just stand back.
Yeah.
And I used to just look at all my team and just say, how much more headroom have they got?
Yeah.
How much further can they possibly go? Yeah. Because I can't do this on my own. It's I physically.
And this is leadership, right?
I can't do this, and you got to.
Yeah.
Are you going to step up? And I always ask people to do the job that they wanted to do next before I paid them for it.
Great.
Now the problem is when we became proper grown up, bar cap invested. So that was hard. But it's not their. I've gotten through the job. Now I need to pay them for doing that job. It became so much easier then to get through a rom-com because that's what they've done. That's the net growth.
Yeah.
And it created this environment where everybody wanted to be a business leader. But people talk about it in recruitment all the time. It's like you go into recruitment to grow a business within a business.
Yeah.
But nobody actually does it.
Yeah.
People that I don't really promote and push. So I think within 18 months, you should be running the business. But I do that because I'm a stato and I want to have data in front of me.
Oh, stato. Right, okay, yes.
Statins, I've got issues. But I just want to make sure that everyone's actually pushing. Yeah. And everything is fed through marketing and conversion rates and marketing.
Yeah.
What's next for Force 24?
Right. So, I was talking about the Instagram thing a moment ago.
Yeah.
It's all about paid media. Everything in the world is about to change. And it's already changed. We just haven't caught up with it yet. So the world, and so Facebook or Meta and LinkedIn and Google, TikTok, they've all released APIs, right? Which probably escaped a lot.
But LinkedIn never let out an API into the public domain.
Certain people can. You can. It's difficult to gain access to it for good reason, because it could be abused. But actually, audience creation is there. It's something you can do, and it's something we've got access to.
We need to talk.
Yeah, it's big, isn't it? It's big.
That's really big.
So when you look at that and you think, right, well, what am I able to do now? Well, so I can use all the information that I collect from the ATS, the CRM, and I can segment people into different audiences. So are you saying that I can show different paid ad campaigns, paid for media, to people based on what a consultant's learned about them? Yeah, that's it. But not only that, why stop at LinkedIn? Why not be on TikTok? So when I say that as well, people are like, oh, my customers aren't on TikTok. Right. Maybe not. But if I would say to you, everybody that's listening to this will have TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube as an app on their phone.
Yeah. I've got 2 of those.
No, you've not. You've got all of them.
No, I don't.
Really?
No,
Which one don't you have?
I don't have Facebook and I don't use TikTok.
Okay, right.
For obvious reasons, because they can just stalk you and turn up. That's never good.
Good point. So I don't have that problem. So I've got everything. But so when I'm watching the TV and I'm sat there with my wife and we're watching Emmerdale or whatever we watch up in the north, and
living the dream.
Living the dream. You got it. And the commercials come on. What do you immediately do? Do you sit and watch the Pan 10 advert, or do you reach for your phone and check Insta? Make a cup of tea. So all of the eyes move from the big TV advertising, which they recognize this, and they're trying to create more and more intelligent ways for me to target based on households. But actually, I'm on my Insta feed, right? And my vision, what I want to do is I want to make your email inbox as compelling as your Insta feed. You just sat there loving it.
So it's quite funny. When I was in the house, we launched an Insta channel, didn't we? And we had amazing uptake. And then we lifted something from Hello Mag,
yeah,
and then popped it on. And then Hello Mag complains, and they wouldn't give me back all the work we put in. And I'd already at that point.
Is that why you got voted out?
Killed, yes, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, not because of my personality, because I'm a TV sensation. But so we've relaunched Insta, and that's been quite fun to do.
Yeah,
but because I don't mind a little project like that.
Yeah,
but I think Facebook is for the devil.
You love it, loathe it. I don't care. I don't have an opinion. I just know that it still has 6 billion users. So if they're there, and the beautiful thing about the model is that if people don't click it, you don't pay.
That's the reason why I love Force 24, because you actually make emails more fun, more engaging. So and again, it's a few words, click through, bosh, done.
Yeah. You look at Uber.
Yeah, there you go. That's email, click through, job done.
Bosh, job done.
There's
got it. Okay.
There's your mantra. Yeah. Right, I think we're about there. Should we have some fun? Brilliant. Now, are you doing this?
I'm doing this.
Are you doing the fun stuff, asking me questions and going through that stuff?
Yeah, but it's not.
Are we going to do this?
It's not on there. It's just. I have some questions that I want to ask you. I want to know what it felt like.
What, falling out of bed?
Falling out of bed. That was one of them. You've spoiled it now. You've taken my thunder.
Okay, look.
Podcast takeover, yeah?
It's podcast takeover.
Podcast takeover.
Welcome to Pints of View. It's about to get a whole lot better because we're turning the tables on Gary Goldsmith. I've got loads of jingles. You just crack on. You mock him, and I'll back it up with jingles and sound effects.
Right, and we can play with this stuff. That's all boring because that is so much great content. By the way, I think it's the longest one we've ever done. It's 4.5 days, but it's there's so much there. It's just nice to know a little bit about each other.
Thank
you. Can you shut up? It's his podcast now.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. Just watch yourself.
Carry on.
Right. Anyway, so first question that I do need to know. Because I watched every episode that you were in on. Did we call it CBBC? CBBC.
That's the kids' show.
CBBS.
CBBS.
What's
That's-
it called?
no, CBB.
CBB, right, okay.
Celebrity Big Brother.
So,
not
right.
not these like was it Peppa Pig? I'll be the dad in Peppa Pig.
The only farmyard reference we can allow is we could call it the cash cow
Okay.
if we want to.
Okay.
Beautiful, well done. So, as I told you, I was watching this on a ski holiday. It came on, and I was with a group of blokes. It was a man.
Lads.
Lads. You got it. And I was like, listen, lads, Gigi's going in CBBC, and we need to watch it. And they were like, come on. I was like, no, you got to watch it. This guy's an absolute legend. What made you wear what you were wearing?
Oh, on the way in,
Yes.
wasn't a good look, was it?
It was interesting.
It was right. So I had loads of trousers made. So I had loads of tartan trousers and then trousers with stripes. So Chris Kerr, who dresses Tom Cruise, and Mark.
No way. Did you just drop a name? Do you want me to pick it up?
Yes, way there, sweetheart. You are closer to the ground. And then Mark Powell, who does Bradley Wiggins, and that.
There's another one.
Yeah. And it was a Mark Powell jacket, and I was going to wear a white t-shirt, which would have been better, but it looked like it was going to be quite cold and out there for a bit.
It did look cold.
It was absolutely bitterly cold.
Was it warm in the house? Did they have the heat
Yeah,
on?
scorch out, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was really, really, really hot.
Yeah.
But it was, I just thought I wanted to fucking be, in my head it looked epic.
Oh, Gigi, you looked amazing. I'm just messing with you.
It wasn't a good look. No, you're not the first person. It was. I think the first thing that Louis said was, they literally vote him out. I don't want to look at that gut. And then when I came out, is it Dave the Beards, who's the tranny from Chelsea, looks for us and he goes, never, ever wear that jumper again.
Brutal.
It was brutal. It was really brutal.
Yeah, but this is a world we're not used to, is it?
No.
Look at what you're wearing today. I mean, that's the height of fashion.
Yeah, I like $1 million.
You do.
Right, go again.
Okay, so you get out the car. You open the door.
Yeah, I'm looking
Get
for
out.
my
Firstly,
wife.
did they drive that in, or did you just slip in the other side and then it was just?
So basically, they drive it 30 foot.
Right. Okay.
So you're in a car, you're on your own with your handler. Then they put you in a car, and they say, so your family's in the audience.
Yeah.
So look out for them.
Yeah.
And I get out, and I am looking for my wife and daughter.
Yeah.
And I can't find them.
Right.
And then they said, it's very easy. You know where you're going.
Yeah.
Do you fuck? Absolutely no idea. And people are doing that, and they should be doing that. To give you a clue where to go. And then I stood straight in front of Will, so he couldn't see his auto cue, and he's just trying to force me out of the way because couldn't see anything.
And what went through your mind? So you opened the door. It's because it was cold, wasn't it? It was really
Yeah, I
cold.
got booze as well, so I was the only person who got booze, and that was
intentional. Do you think that was part of the game?
No, I just think I've got a bit of form, and so it's one of those that people have an opinion of me.
Yeah.
Rightly or wrongly, I think. I always like for people to make their own judgment. So I had no idea what was walking into, and then walked in thinking, did anybody else get it? But no, okay, great, just a minute. And then I did the worst thing in the world.
What was that?
I saw loads of bottles of wine.
Yeah.
So I decided it'd be a great idea to pour everyone wine, and I didn't
yes, you
realise
did.
it was half of it was non-alcoholic. So I was going, Adam, have a drink, I'll have a drink, James, have a drink, I'll have a drink. And then suddenly they all turned around and went, have you just done all that champagne? It's like, probably have, actually. So I was absolutely pickled. First time pickled, yeah, brilliant.
Well, you could tell. They did a good job of hiding that. Well done. But what went through your mind when you got up on stage and you've looked out on everybody?
Can't find
there,
my wife, yeah.
Can't find your wife.
Really upset about
Is
that.
that the point where you were like, oh, shit, this is happening? When did it happen?
All right, so I've, if you'd seen me an hour before, I was absolutely shitting myself and thinking, what on earth have I walked myself into here? And then I was really calm in the car and actually just dead excited.
In the moment.
Oh, in the moment, I was so excited. And then getting on that stage, I was anxious that I couldn't. I'm trying to talk to them, but actually, I'm taking no notes. I'm trying to find
Your wife. That's the most important thing.
just so that she gives me a little one of them.
Yeah.
And then running into the house, and I think I was taking Nick Berry. Go, there's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then then I'm there, and it's fucking hell. So that was all good fun. I tell you, the moment that I thought, oh my god, this is different. This is random. When Sharon and Louis walked out, and we knew something had been going on, and then within effectively it's like 40 minutes of being in there, I've got a target on my back. It's like, fuck.
Create the pressure.
Yeah, and
You love that. You love the pressure.
But some of the kids then just say, "Oh, he's got the plague."
Yeah.
So it was a bit very, very random.
So tell me about when. Okay, so you're in the house.
Turn into a true crime podcast. This is fantastic.
You're in the house. You've gone through
This is like a second podcast.
This is good.
And David walks up to you and says, "Hello, I'm David."
Yeah.
Where are your eyes?
Put your trousers on, mate. David, why do you always look like you're dressed for bed? What?
They were the shoits I have ever seen on a man. He nailed it.
No, he did not nail it. Literally, I cooked breakfast for everyone twice, but they didn't film that. But to be fair, I saw his breakfast more often than not. There was plenty of sausage going on. I don't understand what that was all about.
And Ekin-Su, absolutely beautiful. In real life,
Strong 3.
strong 3. Wow. Okay. Does that work? Fit? Would that have lifted her up a little bit? Been in the house for a long time, or strong 3?
She was nothing. No,
Right.
it's just a bit weird. I know. I slagged her off in front of her mum, so I might as well do it into a bigger audience. Just not a great person.
Oh, really?
Not really a bit of me.
Do you know what? I did listen to some.
I've got 3.5 million followers, so if anyone comes up against me, I'm going to win. And then she was voted out. It's like, oh, yes. That was funny.
And did you watch every minute of everything once you got out?
When I came out, because I was still doing a bit of TV, and I went back a couple of times, and so I watched it. I don't think it was a very true reflection, because I was actually having a really good time. And I made some great friendships in there, and it was an absolute ball. It was a joy and a privilege to have done it. And it was the TV programmer said, "I'll do anything except for that," and then said yes to that. And it was kind of fun.
It was boring after you left. I'm chucking it out there. It was really, really dull after you left.
There was 35 million searches and hits in the first 4 days when I was there.
18 million.
Good boy.
I did get 17. So.
And I was 61%. So,
ITV were generally concerned when they thought you were going to go, because they're like, well, what else is everyone going to talk about?
Yeah.
Because you were front page news the next day. I've got a picture of the Sun
6
newspaper.
headlines, which were quite good. But who's talking about that? I don't like to talk about it when other people do. It was a joyful thing. I've got to say, the way that the ITV put that together with the production, you felt safe. Yeah. You felt in control. They looked after you. They kept saying, "Come here."
Except when you were in bed, of course, because that must have been pretty scary.
What
the heck happened there?
Okay, well, one, I didn't expect to be sharing a bed.
Yeah.
And I did say this. I was dreaming of a bag of gold. Right. It was like, and then I basically rolled over the bag of gold in my dream and threw myself out of bed, and then got up like a meerkat, and then got absolutely slated by people saying, "Did you do it deliberately?" I went, "Oh yeah. It's as a bucket list, isn't it? Tick." So yeah, it was very funny.
And have you had that dream analysed since?
No, I should. Oh, yeah.
You really need to.
I should. I had a bag of gold over my shoulder, so it was funny. I'll give you one more.
All right. Okay. Who's your CBBFF?
He's coming in 2 hours' time after some lunch, and then Levi's coming down.
Oh,
so
amazing.
he did a gig for us for the Pirates, and he was so good. Yeah. He's so humble, so honest, so interesting.
Yeah, that came across as well.
And it was quite funny that he did yoga, and I just waddled around like a whale that needed to be put out of his misery or back in the sea at Hartlepool. It wasn't good, but I've done a bit of yoga since. So he's a really good boy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
Oh, well, that was really good fun, actually.
I enjoyed the Adam podcast more, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It was very good. You can have your own little jingle at the end there. If you've enjoyed listening to Adam, please feel free. Just DM the word Adam and we'll get him back for part 2 of his investigative journalism true crime podcast about Gary Goldsmith behind the scenes. Thank you, please.
Brilliant. Right, so with all these things, I've got 2 more questions for you.
Okay.
What bit of advice would you give to the 18-year-old you?
I would definitely give the advice that I have planned this. I have thought about it. I just
can't remember
to remember it.
Yes, brilliant. Do you want another pint?
What would I have given to my 18-year-old?
Okay. Well, whilst you're thinking of this,
Yes, go for it.
you're 18 years old.
Yes.
It's Friday night. What would you be doing?
Friday night, I would be in my local pub, and I lived in a village, so there was one pub, and everybody went there on Friday night. And
That's too dangerous for
but
me.
then this was sort of, and then one person would not drink, and we'd all drive, get a drive over to Harrogate, and we'd be, mingling with
Ladies.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Friday night. That was fun. But you know what? £1.80 a pint. Do you remember those days? Beautiful days.
Remember £1 a pint, mate. What are you on about? Okay, and I'll ask you another question. So we just wrap this up.
Yeah.
One mantra that you live by.
Indecision will kill us all. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Beautiful. That was so fast. I didn't even see what you'd done. That was brilliant.
I'm brilliant.
Yeah, so-
right. I'm brilliant. You, sir, have been an absolutely, truly beautiful guest. Thank you very much for the jumper.
Quite all
That's
right.
a really, 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 really cool touch. I love the brand. I love the fact that we're actually working together and be at Reciprocity, working absolutely brilliantly. I love the fact that you prepared for this and you're such a naturally born and very clever and
Thank you.
and you said autistically, you have definitely got the gift for doing this. So thank you very much. So I will give you the famous last words.
Yeah.
So with all of these podcasts, I've asked you loads of questions. To be fair, actually, you give me a little grilling there yourself. What if there's one thing that you'd like to say to the wider audience? What might that be?
I think it's got to be about this recognition of what leadership truly is. I know I've harped on a little bit about it, but I think it's a real deep journey that I've been on, and I feel like I've maybe not done it the justice that I needed to do, but it's about.
You did very well.
Thank you very much.
Read Gung Ho.
Sorry?
Read a book called Gung Ho.
Gung Ho. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Have you read Jonathan Livingston The Seagull?
No.
Okay. Before you go, I'm going to go get you a copy.
Okay.
But it's for really gifted people that I just love, and I'll give you but you have to physically, it's almost like you have to be gifted it for
Okay.
it to make sense.
Yeah. Okay. Like a Mason's handshake. Sort of
A
thing.
Mason's handshake.
Yeah,
So
got you.
I will give you that as well.
Amazing.
Thank you very much for making
you.
the trip. It's a long old trip down just to see little old me. James, as always, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being an amazing audience. I've been Gary Goldsmith off the telly. We'll be around on another Wednesday very soon. So peace and love from us in the Cavendish. Gary Goldsmith, drop mic.